So, Michael, thank you so much for joining us to celebrate another pop-up grant from the Community Foundation. We're really excited to have you here and welcome you, as well as to say congratulations to the Shoreline Spartans Youth Rugby Organization, thanks to the generosity of Whelen Engineering. So, yay! Congratulations! Round of applause.
Thank you.
We love partnering with Whelen Engineering. I think their employees are having a lot of fun with these pop-up grants, and I'm sure you probably heard all about it. A wonderful employee at Whelen. They all get to put the names of their favorite nonprofits in the bowl, and they all get mixed up, and they draw one about once a month or so. And we award them a pop-up grant to thank them for all they do and to recognize Whelen as a wonderful community partner. And I think I know your nominator wanted to be here today and she couldn't make it. Mary, who is the nominator?
Chris Ann Vogel.
Chris Ann Vogel. She's awesome.
There we go.
That's great.
Yeah. Big shout out to Chris Ann and a big thank you for putting your organization in, right? Yeah. Oh, so hang on. We're going to take a pause for just a moment because we have another member of your organization joining us, Michael.
Okay.
Yay, Tom Flynn,
hey,
so
Tom.
Glad you could join us. Thank you so much for coming in today. This is great. So we were just talking to Mike Meyer about the pop-up grant from Whelen Engineering, and we gave a big shout out to Chris Ann for being your nominator at Whelen Engineering.
Chris Ann is good, and I, a former employee, now he retired and has since passed away. Tom Fredericks was an old friend of mine from Whelen Engineering. I've known him since I was a kid. It's a wonderful company. It's an excellent organization, and they're very generous on a lot of levels.
We love partnering with them, and we are just thrilled that they love our pop-up grant initiative. And we were commenting on this before we got started today, that the one great thing about partnering with our businesses like Whelen Engineering to do these pop-up grant initiatives is we get to meet some nonprofits that we don't know, which can be rather shocking, but with 15 towns in our footprint, I know there's some out there that we have yet to meet. And so this is a great first for us because we were not familiar with Shoreline Spartans Rugby before this. So Mike, Tom, tell us what you're all about.
Well,
Tom,
Mike and I are old brothers. We've played rugby for a long time. As Mike retired, I kind of continued on for a little bit, and he came up with the crazy idea of youth rugby in the Shoreline area, and started this thing together 7 years ago now with half a dozen kids, and it's grown dramatically. I think this is probably our most successful year. We launched our women's rugby club, high school women's rugby club.
Great.
We graduated from our 5 to 8 grade program. What, 6, Mike? 6 or 7?
We'll have 8. It's actually 8 now that are going into the high school program this year.
Yeah, 8 kids that we've been working with since they were, some of them since they were in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Are moving into the into the high school, in the men's high school. Excuse me, I just want to put this. No, sorry. We've got a great base of kids that we want to continue to move up into both high school and club, what we call club side rugby, which is college, either college if you go to college, or club side rugby, which are rugby clubs in New London, New Haven, Hartford, Springfield, Newport, Providence, all up the East Coast, all across the nation actually, and feed kids into those programs. One of the things that we need to do is keep our profile up in all the communities that you're dealing with on a regular basis, and that's to keep that number of kids coming into the program. So Mike, what else can you add?
So we have several different programs, and it's a lot of fun for us. So we start them in kindergarten, and we have a kindergarten through 3rd grade team, and that's all flag rugby. Boys and girls all play together. We don't separate them. And we really just teach them how to be part of the team, teach them how to do community service outside of rugby. And, we teach them obviously the game of rugby. And then we have a 4th to 8th grade team that's also flag, where we still keep boys and girls together. And then, as they get more advanced, we have a U14 tackle team, under 14. And then we have a boys and girls high school team. And it's just a hoot. So we have probably 8 to 10 volunteer coaches. They all get licensed and certified to be able to coach. And then they come to the program and they volunteer with us to help, the next generation of rugby players learn the game. So it's a lot of fun for us.
That's phenomenal. That's just incredible. Now, the club itself technically is based in Clinton.
Yep.
But,
yes, we draw from all the local towns.
Okay.
Everywhere.
We're not part of the high school, and we're not part of the Board of Education program. We're technically part of the Park and Rec department that doesn't limit us in any way from drawing for kids from all over the shoreline and the valley, the river, Connecticut Valley.
So if somebody out there has an interest in playing rugby and learning more about the game, this is a great way for them to learn.
We would love to have them come down.
Coming in from Wethersfield, Connecticut.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible. That is remarkable.
Yeah. So we do have a few players, some from Wethersfield, from Wallingford, from Marlborough. So some of the kids travel a little bit to, jump in our program. And I think one of the reasons is we're very active. We do a lot outside of practice and games. So we do a lot of community service, and the parents and the families really like that, we have a good social outing teaching the kids how to give back to their community. So that's another component that's a lot of fun for us as well.
We had noticed that Jennifer and I were looking at some of the notes when Mary was putting together things, and we were so impressed, right, Jennifer?
We were. Yeah. What are some of the community service projects that you've done with the kids?
We do Boys and Girls Village. We do a toy drive every December. We do, actually, I wrote this down.
But in case they don't know, Mike, Boys and Girls Village is the last orphanage in the state of Connecticut. So the kids that are there are in great need for a lot of different reasons. It's in Milford, Connecticut, and every year we do a very substantial toy drive based on the kids' wants and needs down there.
That's terrific.
And then, we let the kids actually choose some of the community service. So the kids, the players, sometimes they're 12, sometimes there's 10, sometimes they're teens, like in high school. And this last year, besides Boys and Girls Village, we did Forgotten Felines in Killingworth, where we went there and sometimes the cats need attention. So we went there and we pet the cats. We brought supplies down that they would need. We do, for the Red Cross, we do a blood drive every single year where the kids put up signs, and we've done it in Westbrook for the last couple of years now. And the kids, bring attention to it, and the families and everyone comes down, and we do that blood drive usually in February. We do a community cleanup with Parks and Rec in Clinton at the beach and some of their fields. We do that. A shoe drive, a sock drive, and I feel like we're forgetting something.
I was going to say,
food drive. We do a huge food drive. Yeah. Wow. We do it in October. One of our young ladies in our program, one of our players, she's now in high school. She believed that, we shouldn't just be giving food around the holidays. Let's pick a month where the greatest need was. And when she talked to the Community Foundation in Clinton, it was October. So she started a food drive in October, and we've been doing that every year for the last couple of years. So it's a blast.
Last year we
keep us all busy.
That's great.
Like almost 2,000 pounds of food last year.
Oh yeah, she did almost 2,000 pounds of food.
Oh
yeah,
my
she's
gosh.
Amazing.
That is incredible. That's very impressive. Great word, Jennifer. It really is. Wow.
One of our high school players, Sophia, just did the shoe drive.
Yeah.
What was it called, Mike? It was.
She did a rugby name for it. I want to say. The whole goal of it was to get cleats, casual wear, any type of shoe or sneaker, and just donate it to the people in need. And she brought a bin to the last rugby tournament, and she let all the rugby coaches and all the players and everyone know about it. and all the bins were filled up by the end of the tournament. Yeah, so
Oh,
it was
that's
great.
great. Oh, I love it. I have to say it's so wonderful not only to hear about the recreation part, right, which gives kids an opportunity to learn this remarkable sport and have some fun together and get out and get exercise, but it's really impressive tying the community aspect into it and this idea of not only participating athletically with one another, but then finding ways to give back to the community together and to instill that sort of that connectedness, I think, is really impressive. Thank you so much for doing that. That's terrific.
Well, thank you to the kids for they're the ones that come up with the ideas, and for us, like, that's very rewarding to watch them come up with this plan and then execute it. And on the last few rounds, we pretty much sat back and we were told what to do by the kids.
Yeah.
So it's fun for us to help create new
That's
leaders
great.
as well.
Yeah, that's terrific. I love that. I love that. That's great. Well, we are just so excited to get to know a little more, and we encourage everyone to find out more. How do people, do you need volunteers? I mean, obviously you're always looking for kids. How do people get in touch with you?
So it's easy. If they go to shorelinerugby.com, we post everything there. It's all of our contact information. And then as well, you can always find us on Facebook at Shoreline Spartans Rugby. If you just type that into the search, we'll pop right up.
And is rugby all year round, spring, summer, fall?
It just seems like it's all year round, but it's we started in March of this year, and we just finished last weekend.
Oh, wow.
And we will be starting up again in September and play through early November, or as long as the weather lets us.
Right.
We try not to conflict with, especially on the high school level, with high school football. So our boys program in high school is really a spring sport for us, but we keep them active, and the girls are going to be active all through the fall as well, with some opportunities we have down in Fairfield County to bring them down there. We also will be keeping our under 14 tackle program going through the fall as well. It's almost year round. It gives a lot of kids a lot of different opportunities to participate depending on what other sports they're involved in and whatever, especially at this time of the year with families going on vacation and that sort of thing. Just as our standard has always been to give everybody an opportunity to play this sport. It's a very, very inclusive group of kids. We have a lot of kids that are experiencing pretty serious family issues. We have kids that are on the autistic spectrum. We have kids that have had all kinds of problems in their lives. And this we've found to be one of the things that has brought a lot of them together. So our standards for playing are everybody plays, everybody does community service. Sportsmanship is our primary goal. Mike lectures very well right from the very beginning about respecting your coaches, respecting your players, what sportsmanship is all about, as well as how to play the game and have some fun. So everybody, who shows up, who participates in the community service and wants to play gets an opportunity to play. Everybody has different skill levels, but we accommodate everybody.
Well, Tom, I'm happy to hear that, because that was going to be one of my questions, is if somebody needed a specific skill level to play. So you answered my question.
No, on the youth level, absolutely not.
No, and I think that's wonderful too, because it gives everyone an opportunity to try it, and feel safe trying it.
The other thing I wanted to let you folks know as well is that this is not a very expensive sport to play. We do have expenses, but we don't exclude anybody who can't pay. We have a system of quietly telling folks that can't afford it, or who come to us and say that they can't afford the dues, or their kids need shoes, if they need cleats. We go out of our way to accommodate them. We have a small fund that we pay their dues for them, and we have a network connections to try and get them cleats and the appropriate equipment when they need it. So we don't charge very much. I think, Mike, it was $35.
Yeah,
a year.
it's very inexpensive. $35, and a portion of that goes right to USA Rugby to pay for the insurance for the town. Actually, a big portion to go to the town and pay for any liability. That's why Chris Ann's nomination and Whelen's kind gift, it goes a long way for us. So we could take that money and help keep our day-to-day operations going. And it's not very expensive. All we need is balls and the insurance, but that does add up over time. So we're so appreciative to Chris Ann and Whelen for this kind grant, this donation they're giving us.
Well, we are, as I mentioned earlier, we're thrilled to partner with Whelen Engineering. They truly are incredible in the depth of commitment and caring they have for their community, for the communities from which their employees come from. And when they approached us to do this partnership and provide the support to do these pop-up grants and to give their employees an opportunity to celebrate their favorite nonprofits, we were thrilled, because it's just right in line with so much of what we love to do, which is celebrating great people doing great things in our community. So we are very appreciative of Whelen's support of the Community Foundation and our pop-up grant initiative and supporting their employees in doing this. And we're thrilled to be able to join them and support the Shoreline Spartans Youth Rugby and get to know you and celebrate you and give you a big round of applause and congratulations for all you do.
Thank you all. Thank you all for all you guys do.
Thanks very much.
Great.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for joining us. And we look forward to hearing more wonderful updates and getting more information. And I'm sure the community will as well.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate your help.